yeah, the jersey just spills over to their social media, to the webpage, to everything else, and I fucking love it. Like, just beige and boring and really just missed the mark for me. Purely aesthetic. Like, when could you ever wear it? When can anybody ever wear one of these?
Welcome back to Ahead of the Game. It is Sports Pez Jez, Tuck Sports Takes for bets.com.au. It's Ahead of the Game, and today, Jez, we're talking about the best Aussie national jerseys.
Yes, we certainly are. I don't know how this whole idea come about. I think it was possibly because I am extremely horny on one specific jersey that is going to top the list. And we had to do something to bring it forward and get it onto the show because I've been absolutely frothing since they released the jersey and started this whole new wave of, yeah, the jersey just spills over to their social media, to the webpage, to everything else. And I fucking love it. But so that's probably the reason why. And then, yeah, it was actually really cool to dive into all the different ones and having a look at such a variance in Australian national jerseys and the different designs and what certain codes go for and keeping tradition and moving on to the new age of jerseys and design and all that sort of thing. So I don't know, it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed breaking this down, actually.
Before we get into it, we need to just clear one thing up. And it seems like, without even talking about it, you and I are on the same page. It's called a jersey, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Not a Guernsey or a
No.
jumper or a t-shirt.
This is a very controversial topic. I think you've just thrown into the mix because obviously, like, I think the biggest one is like what AFL. They're very, very proud of their Guernseys and not their jerseys. But lucky
I don't
because
even
they
know
didn't
what the
even make the
difference
list because
is.
they don't have a national team. So fuck them. So,
They don't have a
but
say.
I don't know. Just rugby, call it a jumper, like union. I
I
mean,
think so. But
I don't
they're
know.
also like more jumperish. They're thicker, like those thick kind
Well,
of
they were.
wool. Yeah.
Yeah, they were. But so were the old like rugby league jerseys as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I
I got a couple of old traditional jerseys, even like Origin jerseys and stuff, and they were thicker. Now
yeah.
they're slim fit, can't grab, don't hold water.
But do you say sometimes,
Um,
I'm gonna put my jumper on when you're gonna go and
no,
play?
no,
Always your
never.
jersey.
Always jersey.
Okay.
Always jersey. So let's call it. It's a fucking jersey.
It's a jersey.
Yeah, it's a jersey.
All right.
This
So
is
how are
the
you doing
top
this?
Australian jersey countdown.
We're gonna rank them 10-1.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously the big sports are there, and then went hunting a little bit for a few other sports that are probably popular. Um, yeah, which and there was some good stuff. So let's just get cracking and bag the first one straight away. That come in at number 10, the Australian Rugby League jersey. Do you want to give me your thoughts on what you think first, and then I'm
Well,
going to tell you why I ranked it at the bottom of the list.
I think, I mean, I wouldn't say it's bad. I think it's plain. There's nothing.
Mm,
It's very traditional in terms of Australian rugby league. You have the chevron, you have the gold or the yellow around the sleeves and the collar. I can't say I like the collar. I think it's like a bit of a hybrid coming up, but doesn't have the fold out. It's like either
yeah,
have it or don't have it. Don't go in the middle.
yeah, yeah. It's
I
pretty
think the
hipster,
key.
really. I didn't even look at the collar, so that's
Uh,
interesting. But it is. It's a very hipster type collar where you cut it off and you drink craft beer down at your favorite IPA.
Well, it
Yeah,
looks a little bit like that Japanese collar that on
yeah,
those. Yeah. But I
yeah,
think like I'm big on sponsor integration, and I think here, I mean, Kia I think their logo is white anyway, or white or black, so it wasn't a difficult integration here, but
no,
they've done an okay job. But like I said, it's not bad. It's just the least good of the ones that are in front of it.
yeah. I just got a bit turned off because like I have an Australian jersey from I want to say 2005, and it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, which which is good. Yeah, besides the hipster collar, obviously,
Yeah.
because that wasn't trendy then. But it's like, yeah, like I don't know. I just thought if you feel like the jersey needs to evolve in some way, and it feels like the Australian Rugby League is just trying to keep it the same. Like we'll go through a whole bunch of different other jerseys, and even one that's still very very plain's at the top of the list, but it's just because you've seen their jersey evolve from one thing to the next. Where I don't know, rugby league sort of stuck in the I don't know, just staying with the tradition and maybe needs to move on, try something new, and see what happens. Probably get bagged, but
Move on to number 9.
let's do it. All right, the Australian basketball jersey. Like the first time I saw these, there's also exactly the same model and design, but you swap this like beige color they've got for the green and swap them around. So,
Yeah.
but like when I first saw them, I was like, "Oh, these are nice." Like, and saw them live, I think in Rebel Sport or something. I was like, these are good. But then I don't know, when you think about it as a national jersey, for me, it's just all wrong because like you've gone almost completely away from the traditional colors in a sense that I don't know. I'm going to sound really contradictory because at the end you're probably not on the same colors either. But this just felt like just beige and boring and really just missed the mark for me. Purely aesthetic, like a clean design, clean cut, but yeah, just like this yeah, I don't know, it's like white. Is it white? Is it yellow? Is it smoker's teeth? Or what's the color
Smoker's
of
teeth.
that?
That's
Like,
the best.
it's pretty much it, right? It's that.
That's the best description of an off-white color that I've ever heard. Smoker's teeth.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah, it's
paint my
Sharon
walls
down at the
smoker's
pub and
teeth?
what her the color of her teeth are, after smoking Winnie Blues for 40 years and drinking 4X Gold, like, that's the color of her teeth. Probably, yeah, yeah.
I have to say,
Spot
like
on, really.
the cream or the eggshell white or off white, whatever you want to call it, the beige,
Smoking white.
the smoking teeth is and the forest green are for me one of the best color combinations for a sports team um, that there is. And the Milwaukee Bucks pull this off in the NBA
Mm,
quite well. Whether or not it's great for the Australian national team or not, I'm a little bit more on your side. I don't think it is, but the
mm.
color scheme in of itself, I think, is great. It's very kind of earthy. It's um, it's not for me dull, but it's giving you like a calmness, but still a strength in knowing what the forest is and
Wow.
lumberjacks and all that kind of stuff. Like it's just giving it that type of feel to me. And I love the color scheme, but I don't like it for an Australian national jumper. So I'm with you
I
here on its placing down in the rankings.
like, would you buy it?
Yeah, I'd buy it.
Because I think yeah, like, I think that's sort of how I've gone about, like, a lot of these. It's just, would you buy it? Would you wear it? Like you said, good colors, but I don't know. Sharon White's not really my thing. Number 8. All right. This one probably haven't seen, most people haven't not seen before. This is actually the Australian national touch football jersey or singlet. Um, I don't know. I think for me, it was just disappointing. It hit the mark a lot. Like I think we see in a lot of these Australian jerseys, this I don't know, Aboriginal tribal pattern starting to come through a lot on many of the national jerseys. And then if they don't have it on their normal jersey, there's a variation of it that has it, which I don't know. I like. Like I think it really brings the culture of Australia in and I don't know. I think it's a really, really good design aspect. But the thing that just blows this completely up for me is the sponsor integration. It just completely ruined it. Obviously, touch football, not a lot of money. You gotta you got to do what you got to do to keep cash in the sport. But you think they may have possibly been able to, I don't know, do some sort of variation so it wasn't red, and just ruin the whole thing, really, which is a bit
Yeah,
of a shame. But
it's crazy.
but the ground, you take that out, you'd probably wear it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we work a little bit with this stuff on the side, and okay, how much, considering touch football is what it is and the size of it, how much exposure is athlete really getting by having it like that? Could you not, as an association and as the sponsor, say, hey, let's make it a banging jersey, make it look really good, and then find another way to engage with the sponsors, or find a way to promote the sponsorship in an equal or better way than this
yeah,
horrendous piece of garbage?
yeah, because like, couldn't you even if you wanted to have it on there, couldn't you just like take out the white so it was transparent and turn everything else white?
Yeah,
You know, like that would at least make it better, make it doable. But to
yeah.
have the red on such a like great design and traditional Australian design, and then bang it like that, just sort of really ruined it. But on the right track at least.
It just feels like rugby league in general, and I want to group touch footy into that. They are just
Mm,
so poor at sponsor integration on their jerseys. There's multiple feeds and threads on Facebook and Twitter about people that just specifically talk about sponsor integration on jerseys, and
yeah,
they're just so poor at it, to be honest.
yeah. Yeah. It's not like you can't do it like I don't know, one of our very, very first shows, we talked about Formula One cars, and I love it on the Formula One cars, just fucking shit everywhere. But it's not on a, like, that's the old way it used to be. That's motor racing, but it's not, I don't know, sports national jerseys as well.
No,
Right.
no.
All right, number 7. This one, I don't know why I ranked it so low. I think just because it's really basic. I think these are a fly. I want to buy one straight away as soon as I saw it. And they also have a variation in like the dark green that the Australia is written in.
Yep.
Because
Is the Australia
they're
yellow
nice.
or is it white?
I think it was white.
Okay.
I'll have to double check. But yeah, the only sort of thing that I felt unnecessary on here is the Australian flag.
Yeah.
I don't know why that got added there. You know it's Australia. You've even got the Southern Cross on there, and then you go and throw like the blue Australian flag on the top. Sort of was like, okay, is that something maybe they needed to have for if this is like the Olympic jersey or something like that you, because it was compulsory for every country. I'm not sure, but like these are nice. Like, I think you
The
definitely want to have one.
Yeah, that flag could have went on the shoulder instead to hide it a little bit. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
unless it's a
yeah,
regulation, but I completely agree. I think it just kind of ruins the aesthetic of the color scheme. I think baseball jerseys in general are pretty cool.
yeah.
They have they're sporty yet uh, kind of a little bit formal. I don't know, formal's not the right word, but they're, with the buttons and the cut they have,
Yeah.
they're quite, yeah, I don't know, formal's not the word. I can't find the word, but
But like stylish, you could definitely go out in the club and bust one out with one of those on.
wrap it around your waist.
And even with like a long sleeve type bonds underneath with your arms, so you look like a pitcher or whatever.
But
But no,
again,
but I know what
the
you mean.
dark
They're
green,
almost dressy.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and the dark green had the white Australia, but still with the gold outline around, and then even in the stars of the Southern Cross were also white. So it was nice. Like if you Google like Australian baseball jerseys, there's a lot of nice ones on there, like all the different variations.
yeah,
So they're good, but this was definitely yeah, top class. I think it's starting to get into the top ranked
yep.
stuff, but definitely a good stepping out shirt, a good shirt almost. Number 6. All right. 2020 cricket. I think 2020 cricket's this is for me I don't know, the exclamation mark, or it certainly says 2020 cricket to me. Like, you went from boring test match cricket, you've got your whites, not much you can do about those. Then you go one day, all the sort of one day uniforms are pretty much like one plain color. And then 2020 cricket's all about short form, excitement, yeah, and boldness. And I'm glad that Australian cricket went over to this. You've got a much more like modern design with the coming down the sides, moving over a little bit to the neon side of things, which is always a plus in my book. But just sort of a different design. I like the edginess of the sides coming in instead of just having it all plain. So I don't know. I was pretty impressed with this. I don't know. It's still the same thing about the collar. I'm not sure what they're doing there really.
Yeah, I think that maybe be an attempt to differentiate it from just a warm up shirt. And I think
Mm.
we're getting into that stage in a lot of different sports. And football, soccer is one of them where it's like, okay, is the jumper, is it a proper jersey or is it a training shirt? Is it a warm up shirt? And if you compare just cricket attire in general, it's normally a little bit heavier in the thread. And I think you have when you put on an Australian kit, you want to feel it on you. You want to feel like you are representing your country. You're carrying the weight of the nation on your body. And if you
Whoa,
have
bro.
a a thin shirt, like, it doesn't give me enough. Let me feel
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But do you think it does that with just this little collar, or should they had it like
No,
just a normal collar?
I think it's a bit of an attempt to differentiate it from a normal shirt, but I don't think it does
Yeah,
enough.
no. Just put a collar on it. Put a
Yeah,
normal
it's
collar
weird.
on it, or yeah, yeah. These new age collars. Not for me, but great jersey. It sounds so old. These new age whippersnapper collars. And they're shit beer. Just like do the correlation between a gay collar and a EPA. I don't know, that kind of guy. All right, getting into the good stuff. I think if you can pull one of these kits off or these jerseys, then you're a must. He's almost got camel toe going on, but we're looking at the overbody, I think.
Isn't it a one
Um,
piece?
yeah, it is. Yeah, cycling. Yeah, they are all one pieces, aren't they? But I like this. You're highlighting the guns, which I think is a big positive in cycling. They've all got, like, most of them, like track cyclists, all have these massive guns. I like the Aboriginal design on it. And then even just sort of the simplicity of the rest and just having it on the arm pieces. I don't know. It did something for me. I don't know, but I like guns. It's my biggest dream in life is to have guns, but I don't do anything. I don't do anything about it.
No, but I agree. They hug the body well, show off the form both in the legs and the arms. The sponsor
Yeah,
integration is great. Asics have been you've given them the two Australian colours in the different spots to give the contrast. I think it's very well pulled off. Um, and I think for me, the only negative here is that I'm not buying this to wear it, but I can
right.
appreciate it as a national jersey.
When could you ever wear it? When can anybody ever wear one of these unless you're cycling yourself?
Yeah, that's fancy dress party, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe we need to do that. The next time one of us, maybe, I don't know, I'm 40 soon. Maybe we need to wear unfamiliar sports clothing will be the theme of the
Yeah, yeah.
of the party, where you've got to wear something extremely uncomfortable. Slicks, one of the old swimming suits, or Kathy Freeman's 100-meter,
With the
200
hood.
meter hoodie. Yeah, that's gangster probably these days. You could probably get away with that. But all of these you need to have a bigger package, and I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah,
Still waiting for that to come.
materialize.
Yeah. Number 4. All right, we're getting into the good stuff, the pointy end. Number 4 and number 3 are kinda, are really, really similar. I don't really know how you differentiate. I think maybe with this one, it's the sort of the summer colors. It brings out Australia in a certain way. We've gone away from the traditional sort of green and gold, maybe that we even saw on the in the cycling kit or jersey. We call it jerseys anyway. And going for more summer, obviously, field hockey, summer Olympic sport. This is what they wore in Paris. I think you get a good feel of Australia in these by just lightening up the colors a little bit and even going a little bit more. I don't know. It's not pastel, but yeah, like lightening things up a little bit. But then even in the Aboriginal design, you can see that they've got that darker green still coming through. I like that it comes just over the shoulders, and then you even have sort of the matching at the bottom of the shorts, which if you zoom in, you can probably see that it comes up from the bottom. And then I like even the font, like in the numbering, was big and clear. So I like this style. I like like we said, the blending in of the Aboriginal print um, was done well here. So I like it.
There's one thing about Australian national jerseys and kits that trouble me, and we've seen it already through here, and you've mentioned it. It's the difference in the colours. Now,
Mm,
there should just be one green, one gold or yellow, whatever you want to call it, and that should be the colour, easily recognisable across all sports, no matter what. I find it difficult to understand why we have so many different variations of green and yellow. I can understand that why it was back in the day because it was more difficult to dye the clothing depending on what type of
mm.
material. But today, there's no excuse. You can sublimate, you can dye, you can do
No,
everything, and
it's
it's all going
choice.
to be exactly the same. So I I don't know. I think this is a little bit too yeah, like too light. There's like an aqua blue kind of thing going on there. I don't know. This one's not for me. I'm vetoing this one.
Oi, all right. Fair enough. What about the next one? Because it's really, really similar, but I guess well, not really. When you look at it, you're getting more to probably something that you would like. You're getting much darker, closer to that darker green, um, traditional green and gold, I guess.
Because I think the
But
yellow or the gold
the
is
gold is mm,
quite similar here, but what makes it different is the green around it. If you have a darker green, then the yellow looks more bold. If you have a
mm,
lighter green, then the yellow needs to fill out that space and looks more neon.
mm. You don't like the neon, or
Well,
you
no, I
like the
think it
neon.
goes away from what it's not green and gold anymore. It's green and
Yeah,
neon yellow.
yeah, yeah. But I think like with this, I don't know what the design is. It'd be interesting. You probably should have dived into it a little bit more to what exactly the plate is on the dress. But I think at least with this one, yeah, I felt that it was more traditional, closer to the green and gold of Australia. But then, and then even like somehow with the origin and the red, like it stands out a lot. It would have been nicer if it was white or you make it green or something, but still I feel like it worked in some
Yeah.
way. Um, it's probably because say with the touch footy jersey, you're having that background instead of it being sort of transparent, and you just sort of takes over. It looks more like a sponsorship sign on the side of the court instead of a integration into the jersey. But yeah, I don't know. I like this style. I think the cut and everything is really, really good. Yeah, and whatever the design is on the bottom, it really works.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's progressive enough to make it feel modern. Even on that side paneling, the the lighter green at the top with a bit of a design, and then that's a bit of a gradient down towards the bottom where you're getting also that crossover of the design then flowing out into the side panels. Um, yeah, and I like the shoulder straps. The cut is good. It looks functional. I've never worn one, but it looks functional.
Don't
And
lie.
and even the lettering, I think
Yeah.
it just works well.
Yeah, I wonder how much time they think about the fonts in like the, goalkeeper, goal defense, all of that sort of stuff, because it's a big part of the jersey. Like that
Yep.
font's got to be right. I wonder if it's like if you're looking at go from different nations or even different clubs or whatever, and if it's different fonts, because I don't know, it plays a big role. And have
It
Flight
does.
Centre sponsored the netball like forever? I don't. I feel like all Flight Centre have always been a sponsor of the netball of the
Mm,
Australian national team.
I don't know. Can't
Mm.
remember.
Anyway, but they got budged to the side instead of being the main sponsor on the front, so probably don't notice them much anymore. All right, number two. Now, no, this sort of
Ooh.
goes against a lot, and especially for you, I think. Now, after hearing your opinion on stuff, but I like this caramel type color, gold to the jersey. It's like proper like a burning gold in a furnace that's warming up. Somehow the Cadbury really really works for me as well, and it's just plain, simple, clean, proper collar, um, and hit the spot for me. Just I don't know. Visually, I'm like I want to buy one straight away as soon as I looked at it. And then what also sort of helped it rank higher up was the variants that they have. So if you jump online and have a look, they've got one with like the Aboriginal print coming down the sides as well. And then they also have a traditional one that's the long sleeve in the thicker material with the proper collar that's just completely clean. Something that you definitely want to have like that, like the long sleeve one would be something I would definitely,
Yeah.
definitely buy. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just yeah, like there's not much to it, and compared to the one that won, there's such a difference between number one and number two. But this also just the cleanness of it, the Cadbury sponsor, and the variants just did it for me.
Yeah, I think you said at the start, and you kind of I think you related a little bit to the Australian basketball where there's not much going on, but here it seems to be pulled off better in some aspect, and it's also traditional. So in comparison to the NRL or the rugby league, I can't get past the honeycomb caramel. This to me screams, hey, it's Easter. Cadbury egg with caramel flowing. They're trying to sell Easter eggs. Like
Mm,
it's not.
that worked for me.
Yeah, apparently,
Yeah.
it's not like they. I think back to when Australian national rugby was one of the best, probably the second best in the world behind the All Blacks, and their jersey was iconic in the coloring, the style, and it's not this. They had that color. It was more towards, I guess, the cycling yellow or gold that we had
Yeah.
back at number 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I've got like a lot of their different jerseys. It was like a lighter gold, but
yeah,
still a more like earthy gold, you could say.
yeah. Yeah, this is a little bit too bright for me. But the integration's good. I think the collar's good. The green I like very much. It's hard to
Yeah.
see what's going on under the sleeves there. I maybe would have liked to have a green ring around the sleeve, but
Mm.
yeah, I mean it's not bad. It's just bad.
It's not bad. It's just bad. No, I don't know. It just worked for me. I like the contrast between this new gold and the dark green. I
Yeah.
still felt that it held the earthy color to it, but it just brightened things up. It was just a little bit more modern, and like they've had lots of variants of jerseys from the Wallabies, and yeah, like I think yeah, something that definitely, like you said, that they could have had is had that traditional something going on around the sleeve. Um, or even if it was just like where the fold is at the end, that it was that was dark green as well, which is what they've done on the long sleeve. On the long sleeve, around the cuff is dark green just here, and
Yeah.
then they've got all the color like almost pretty much exactly the same. Um, so, but yeah, I don't know. I it did it for me. I don't know. I was going to say gold diggers, but the mining gold worked for me 100%. All right, number one. What got this all started? Love it, hate it. I fucking love it. I think I'm all about neon. I'm all about the bright lights. This is completely new age design to like hitting the spot of what graphic design in sports is going towards, and they've just gone splash. Let's take the next level and put it on jerseys and hit whatever generation, Gen Z, what whichever gen it is at the moment now, and sell jerseys, and they're going to sell heaps of them. Yeah, I love the integration because I love how it's just taken over everything. The jersey is now the whole Australian Football Association and all of their graphics and halftime score updates and Instagram and Facebook stories, their TikTok. It's all this now. It's all about this these lines going through and all the bright colors, and I don't know. For me, I just froth over it. It's just like so bold, a big statement. You're either going to hate it or you're going to love it. I love it. It's not traditional at all. The only thing traditional about it is the emblem and maybe the dark green around the sleeves, around the collar. That's it. But for me, it hit the spot. I want one. My birthday in a few months, Ryan. Just so you know.
All right. Where the hell do we start on this one? It to me, it looks like they have I don't know. I'm so appalled. I've lost my words. In the Premier League, they a few years ago, quite a few years ago now, they decided we need to have new jerseys every year to be able to sell more. And by the end, you run out of design ideas that are good, and you just start throwing shit at the wall and hoping
And it
people
sticks.
buy it because they love the
And it'll
club.
stick. It'll stick.
And this is one of those designs. It's like you go into those build your own jersey creators online in
Mm,
some Russian basement website, and it's got like 6 different templates that you can choose from. And this is one of them.
mm. The
At the
best
same
one.
time, I want to give the credit to the decision to have the brand translate across the whole profile of Football Australia, as you've alluded to, the website, the socials. That bit I absolutely love. Then
Mm,
it's this design, it's debatable, but the concept of continuing in it and having it translate and be applicable to all different platforms, that I really love. And I think that is the way forward for everybody. I just struggle to get past the zigzags. I don't think it relates to Australia at all. I don't think it's any like it doesn't scream Australia to me. And it's like, what's that? Is it a grey? Is it an aqua blue? Like, what's that third color in there? And the coat of arms, like it's the Football Australia logo or what in the middle, and it's some
yeah,
sort
in
of
the middle of
weird
it.
shield around. Like, make it better.
Yeah, yeah. That's an interesting aspect of it where they've changed the coat of arms and put the Football Australia logo there with the emu and the kangaroo. Like
I was gonna
that's
hit it
pretty huge.
harder even more, but I realized that um, they all do it. So the best one to look at is the cricket. See, that's the Olympic one. It's
Olympics
changed
there.
again. Cricket have Cricket Australia thing in the middle there.
Yeah.
So they all do it, but like if you just compare that one where it looks like I don't like the Cricket Australia thing, but it's at least it's tight.
Mm,
I think here, and even there's tight. Here it's just like bleh. It's like you've stretched it a little
yeah.
bit too far in Photoshop. Looks
No,
fat.
you're off your tits. It's perfect. It works. If it was if it was tight, it just wouldn't fit everything. There's so much space on here. They haven't tried to just like cram it in. If they made the logo really tight, it wouldn't. I don't know. It wouldn't fit.
Like maybe you
But
don't even need the shield behind it. Make the emu, the
yeah,
kangaroo, everything
so
dark green, and leave the shield out.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
can
definitely could have
understand
done that.
why you like it because you're a neon fanatic.
Yeah,
And as I said, the concept across multiple platforms, I really like. I think just the zigzags has killed me.
yeah, but I don't know. It's just modern. It's edgy, bro. Come on, hang with the times.
I'm too old.
Yeah, I was too old 2 jerseys ago, but then I've found my young punch in number one. But
I wonder if when they make these jerseys, are they going, okay, we got to sell these to this age group, so we don't care about the guys that are the middle-aged
mm,
dads that are turning 40 and that have the cash to buy these jerseys. We got to go to the young kids.
yeah, yeah, that's a big call because this is like it's definitely for the younger generation. This jersey, there's not old Barry that's 60 years old that's going to throw one of these on and it's going to be tight fit over his pension boobs like but for little Timmy running down at the park with his flashy neon orange boots that match. I think that's who you're selling to these days, I guess.
Yep. Well, there you
Well
go.
done. It was bold. It was bold, brave, and I take my hat off to it. Oh, put my hat back on. But there we go.
It's a big list. 10.
Mm,
We
10.
spoke about it before. We thought we were going to do 5, but then 10. There, I think all 10 deserve to be on the list, and I don't think any of them were extremely bad. You're
No.
proud of all of them.
Yeah.
There's just some that are better than others.
Yeah. In our opinion, my
Yeah.
opinion. But
Let us
it's the
know in the
right list. It's the right
comments
opinion.
which one you put up. If there's anyone we've missed out you think should be in this list, let us know in the comments.
Mm. And just remember, hang with us and stay ahead of the game.